It's no secret to anyone that MOONDROP is one of the most beloved Hi-Fi brands of the world, and today I'm going to rank all MOONDROP's products that I've tested along the years. A lot of products right here, and of course I didn't heard everything, but a bunch of IEMs and headphones from the brand, and I am going to rank them so you can decide which one should you buy and what you can avoid if possible. As always, I am considering my personal taste and the following scenario. If I had the money to buy the specific IEM that is right here, would I consider him or not? Considering, of course, price, comfort, sound signature, technical aspects of the sound, would I consider buying one today? If yes, absolutely, S tier. If the answer is no way at all, I hate this product, D tier. Let's begin with the first one, which is MOONDROP Blessing 2. Man, this IEM was such an amazing launching from MOONDROP, took the IEM market by storm, costing $350 back then, I guess, and competing with way pricier IEMs back then because of the general tonality, which is very natural, leaning towards the cold sound signature with a little bit more sparkle in the treble. And man, the technical performance of this IEM back then was so good. Even today is so good. The imaging, the instrumental separation, the sound stage is so big for the price point, but there are some problems. Specific for myself, the comfort is very bad because this is a very chunky and bulky IEM that, man, I can listen to it for more than 40 minutes, for example, so it's going to an A because the sound signature is amazing, the price is very good, the construction too, but the comfort, man, it lacks. Well, we have right here MOONDROP Variations, and man, I gotta confess it to you, I think MOONDROP Blessing is such a better IEM. I hate MOONDROP Variation, and this is going for a D. Remembering that this is a very personal subject, but at least to me, MOONDROP Variation is a compound of a lot of things that I hate in the Hi-Fi market. First of all, the comfort. It's a very uncomfortable IEM, just like MOONDROP Blessing, and this is a very big problem right here. And the other problem is the sound signature. Although MOONDROP Blessing 2 has an amazing sound signature to my ears, Variations is like the statement of the problems of Hi-Fi market in the sound signature. It is a Harman Target sound signature, which I do not like at all because of the oppressive sub-bass and the shouting mid-range, and it gets the Harman Target sound signature and enhances it even more with more sub-bass and more pinna gain. The sound signature overall is with a very opulent and oppressive sub-bass that has just a single note without a lot of texture because the mid-bass is very dry, so there is a lot of contrast between mid-bass and sub-bass, a ton of sub-bass and dried mid-bass, which makes the sound signature overall without a lot of texture and with an incoherent timbre, at least to my ears. And going to the mids are very lean because of the lack of mid-bass, and very shouty because of the upper treble, the boost in the upper treble, so it's a very aggressive sound signature to my ears, and the treble is just fine. The technical performance is okay, but for the price point there are a lot of better IEMs. I even think that MOONDROP Blessing 2 is better in a lot of aspects in the technical performance, bass, treble, and mid-range, a lot of coherence in the sound signature. And man, I don't like Variations. I know there are a lot of people that love Variations, but I am not one of them. Next one, MOONDROP Neko Cake. Okay, I mean, kind of expensive today, $40, $50, something like that, and it's almost the same as the Space Travel. And the thing that gets me with these MOONDROP Bluetooth IEMs is the comfort. The nozzle is very short and a lot of people have problem with these nozzles, and me too. They fall off my ears. I can't use it for a long periods of time, and I have trouble finding the correct seal so the IEM can sound correctly. When I do find, the sound signature is okay, but again, nothing amazing, at least to my ears. Next one, MOONDROP Void, which was very trashed in the community with reason, because the construction is so bad. The sound signature is very similar to Sennheiser 6XX from S-Drop, Sennheiser HD 650, and although similar, it's not as good, and it's the same price, and the construction is way worse, so there is no point in buying a MOONDROP Void instead of a Sennheiser HD 6XX. But the overall tonality is good, so it's not going for a D. This right here is a MOONDROP Lamb. I have reviewed it in my main channel in Portuguese. It got a lot of good stuff. The construction is good, the price point is good, $40, $50, something like that. The comfort is very good, and the tonal sound signature is a very neutral one, very correct IEM, but kinda soulless, you know? It lacks dynamics to my ears, so it sounds kinda boring. Although very neutral, linear and correct, a lot of folks love this IEM here at my country. I'm not one of them, because of the lack of punchness, dynamics and soul. It lacks soul, at least my ears, so it's going for a B because of the good construction, the good tonal balance. And next one we have MOONDROP Space Travel, which is very similar to Neck Cake, but costs us half, so it's going for a B because of this. The sound performance to price ratio is way better than in Neck Cake. Now we have something right here, a jewel, at least to me, MOONDROP Aria Snow. I think that MOONDROP Aria Snow is the best version of MOONDROP Aria because it gets everything right with MOONDROP Aria and enhances it. It's more beautiful, subjective, but my opinion. The construction is better, the cable is better, not that cloth weird cable from Aria. The ear tips are better because it has that MOONDROP spring tips, which are very good. And the sound signature too is better to my ears. It reminds me a lot of MOONDROP Aria, but with dried mid-bass. The mid-bass in MOONDROP Aria is very fat sometimes, and this mid-bass right here is better. It's faster, it's tighter, and more detailed. So it's the first S tier in the tier list. Amazing stuff from MOONDROP right here, and in my opinion, the best MOONDROP Aria that you can buy. And this beautiful guy right here is a MOONDROP Kato. I think that MOONDROP Kato is probably the most famous MOONDROP IEM, and with reason. This IEM is incredible, $200, I think a little less than $200. The construction is very good, an amazing unboxing, a lot of newer stuff. This guy has 3 years, I guess, and a lot of newer IEMs in the 200 market doesn't got such a good unboxing. The comfort is good and the sound signature very nice too. It reminds me a lot of Starfield and Aria, but with better bass, more controlled bass, dried up bass, and better treble too, with more detail retrieval, with more soundstage. And this little guy right here was a success back then and it still is a success today. But I think that for $200 there are better options. I would buy something like a Final Audio A4000 or a Tangzu Zetian Heyday, or even a Juno Falcon Ultra instead of MOONDROP Kato. But back then this guy was a monster. A for me. And this little guy was a monster too. This is the MOONDROP SSP. It came before SSR. This guy right here is an SSR with more bass, because SSR is a very neutral kind of sound signature with lean bass and a lot of focus in the upper treble, in the pinna gain region. But we will talk about SSR later. And SSP goes and adds a tad of mid-bass and sub-bass to the sound signature, giving body to the vocals and a more correct sound signature tonally speaking, and it was such a joy back then, and it still is an amazing IEM. I think that SSR and SSP are underestimated, and first of all, the construction so good, so beautiful, the boxes, the IEMs, the cable is one of the better cables in any price point, and the fit so good. And the thing about the sound signature is that although not for everybody and for everything, it's a very specific sound signature and very good in what it does, which is mid-range, which is upper treble. For me, IS, and we'll talk later about SSR again and the overall sound signature. This is a Moondrop Blessing 3, an update of Moondrop Blessing 2, almost the same sound signature, almost the same comfort. I think the comfort is the same problems and the same good stuff. So again, an A. Of course, today I would buy a Blessing 3 with the same money, but back then Blessing 2 was an amazing IEM, and both are very similar even today. Talking about old stuff, this is a Moondrop 2, the first one, and back then was the best IEM in the price point, $20, but man, the market evolved so fast in this price point, and for me today it is a B. The overall sound signature is very good with good technical performances, but the problems are fixed cable, the cable isn't removable, and the other competitors in the price point have removable cable, and the overall tonality of the mids. The tonal balance is very good, but there is a hint of a metallic timbre in the mids and at the highs, which can kill the experience if you compare to other IEMs today of the same price range. But back then, this was the one to buy in the $20 range, and was one statement of Moondrop, just like Blessing 2 and Kato, that they were the best, if not the best, one of the best in the price point back then. Now we have Moondrop Starfield, which is a very good IEM. I think it's very similar to Moondrop Aria. I had both at the same time and listening to both. The construction is better, the cable is better, and the overall finish of the IEM is better, but the sound signature is almost the same and the price is higher. It's a very meaty sound signature with a lot of sub bass and a heavy mid bass, and with a lot of sparkle in the treble, natural mid range, a very beautiful sound signature. Kato does it better, but the amount of bass is too much to my ears for today's standards, and the price was kinda high back then, so for me it's going to a B. Now this guy right here is a Moondrop May, one of the newer ones, and man, this thing right here is a monster. The construction is such a joy for $80, man. The case, the cable, the IEMs themselves, the design of the shells, a lot of higher stuff, even from Moondrop themselves, are worse in construction and in level design, at least in my opinion. And the thing is, this IEM, if you consider comfort, build, and sound signature, is already IS for me. But then there is the DSP cable. The DSP cable enhances the experience even further with all the possibilities that it opens for with the equalization. So man, this is a beast with single EA500 and Juno Titan S2. I think that these three IEMs are the better ones to get under $100. Amazing stuff right here, and man, such a joy this IEM is. Now we have a Moondrop Quarks, very old stuff. It's been a long time since I listened to it, and it was back then amazing. $10, $9, something like that. Very neutral sound signature. The construction was very lame, but for $10 again. But for today's standards, there are a lot of better IEMs, so it's going for a B because of the nostalgic feeling. Back then, it was amazing, but today, for today's standards, The construction is very lame. The sound signature, although neutral, doesn't has a lot of technical performance to give, so it aged a little. Talking about aged IEMs, I talked about Shu, which was the best one back then in the $20 range in my opinion. And MOONDROP Shu 2 changes things. It's better, it got removable cable, the construction is better, the price is the same, and it has better overall tonality without that metallic tint that MOONDROP Shu had. So it's better in all aspects, and in my opinion it is one of the best IEMs under $20. S tier, good stuff right here too. Now headphones, right here the first planar from MOONDROP Para. Man, I had a Para for about 6 months as my main headphone because I just love this headphone so much, man. It's a neutral bright sound signature, the same kind of sound signature as MOONDROP Blessing 2 and 3, and in a planar fashion with a lot of technical performance. The detail retrieval is amazing. The soundstage is so big, it costs $250 I guess, and man, this headphone is such an amazing experience. The unboxing is very good, the construction is very good, the comfort, the sound signature, and I am someone that generally does not like bright sound signatures, and this headphone is very bright but done in such a beautiful way with a lot of extension and a lot of air in the presentation. The technical aspects of this headphone is amazing for the price point. The only caveat is the bass. The bass doesn't extend so well. It got a lot of texture and even slant for a planar in the price point, better slant than Hi-Fi Man and Enda in my opinion, but again, there are better options in the bass region, but the technical performance of this guy right here, this is a very underrated headphone and in my opinion the best one in the price point, S tier. Now MOONDROP Aria 2, in my opinion the second best Aria. There are only 3 MOONDROP Aria, the original one, the Snow Edition one, which is the best in my opinion, and the Aria 2, which has better construction than Aria and a better overall technical performance. But I think that Snow Edition is even better with less mid-bass and an overall better construction. Not better construction, both are very similar in the construction, but I think that Snow Edition is a more, how can I say, a more interesting one because of the all white construction, you know. So for me it's an A, good stuff, but I think Snow Edition is the one to get in the Aria world. Now this right here is the oldest MOONDROP that I've heard. I think that this guy right here was the first one to be launched with Kenas Pro. Do you remember Kenas Pro? Man, Kenas Pro did such a success in the hobby. And there was also Blessing 1. I think that MOONDROP started their career with Crescent, Blessing 1 and Kenas Pro. And Crescent was the one that I've heard back then. It's been 7 or 8 years and I don't remember exactly how it sounded. I remember that back then I had a Tinted 2, which I still got, and this one was better to my ears with a better bass, with more dynamics and with better imaging. So it was a very interesting IEM back then, very successful one, but MOONDROP just shut it down and doesn't sell it anymore, which is a shame because of the bullet construction. The brass construction was interesting and the sound signature is very good. I think it was a very healthy path to follow for MOONDROP, and sadly they didn't launch Crescent 2, Crescent 3, so this is just history. I don't know which grade to give it because it was way back then. I will give S because of the nostalgic feeling. And talking about history, this is a MOONDROP SSR, one of the first ones that I've heard too. And we talked about SSP, and SSR was one of the first ones, was first than SSP. The overall sound signature is very lean, without a lot of bass, but very tight and controlled bass. We focus in the mid-range, in the upper treble to be more specific, and with an inoffensive treble. A lot of people mocked this IEM back then with the, what was the nickname? I think it was Super Shouty Reference, because of the shoutiness, because of the focus on the mid-range in the upper treble. But to my ears, it was so well done, man, without any kind of peak, without any kind of harshness. It was forward, of course, but in a very controlled manner, different from Moondrop Variations, for example. And although I will not consider this IEM for everything, this is such a joy for gaming and for some specific genres like jazz, instrumental music, soundtracks, classical music. This is a very good IEM for this kind of situations, with a superb technical performance even for today's standards. So for the specific things that it does so well that it deserves to be in the S tier. Now, you know what doesn't deserve to be in the S tier? Moondrop Joker. This thing was a joke, in my opinion. One of the worst things that I've ever heard in my entire career reviewing headphones and IEMs. Man, these things right here sucks to my ears. First of all, the construction. For the price, okay, the aesthetics are good, but the sound signature is so bad to my ears, man. The bass is very puff, without a lot of dynamics, without a lot of impact, and without a lot of extension, which is weird for a closed back headphone. And the treble has a lot of peaks and dips, with a lot of detail in some regions and kind of a dark veil in some other areas. And the worst part to me was the mid-range, a very honk sound signature. There was a spike in 1 kHz, 2 kHz, something like that, which gave the voices a very weird characteristic, very honky, very forward, very unnatural. Man, I hate Moondrop Joker D tier. Now the last one, so we can finish it. Moondrop Aria, the original one. Man, back then, this was a monster. This was an unchained beast. But for today's standards, it lacks the technical performance. The construction is still good, with a nice unboxing, a nice finish in the IEMs, although this painting right here chips a lot, and the cable is a very weird cloth one. Anyway, but it is a good construction even for today's standards. But the sound signature is cool. A lot of bass, a very meaty and heavy mid bass with a lot of weight in the overall tones. The mid-range is good, warm, lush, thick, and the treble is very detailed, bright, sparkly, so it's an interesting sound signature. But the bass holds it back in the technical performance. It bleeds to the mid-range and makes the IEM very slow and heavy for today's standards. So I think that Aria Snow is way better and Aria 2 is better too. So Aria is going for a B. Back then a monster, today not so much. So there you got it, guys. Moondrop tier list. A lot of things that I've heard from Moondrop, a lot of memories. Hope you have enjoyed. Hope you can leave in the comments your tier list, which IEMs from right here that you have, that you enjoy, that you don't enjoy. If you agree with me or if you disagree, no problem at all. Let's discuss, let's talk. Hope you have enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and I see you guys as always in the future. See ya!